As this is Kirk with DFS Bros. Going to do our Week 13 picks and our Week 12 recap. So our Week 12 recap, if you went one way and followed Nick with his Raider picks, no one saw that coming that they were going to score less than 10 points, single digits. Wow. But if you went the other route and played Chiefs, hopefully, I know we didn't mention it, Tyreek Hill, but if you added him to the stack of Kelsey and Mahomes, you made some money. Like we did earlier in the week. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about who we like on Week 13, Nick.
So I'm going to start off with my quarterback. I'm going Mitch Trubisky with the Chicago Bears. Week 1, 5,400 against the Detroit Lions. He scored 24 points. Week 13, 5,400 again. And this Lions defense is worse than it was in Week 1. They are missing 2 more cornerback starters that they had Week 1 compared to now. Mitch Trubisky should get over 20 fantasy points again. And at 5,400, I like that value that we're getting for him. I think he should 4x his price, and he should get over 20 points. I feel very safe with this pick.
Yeah, he always 4x's against them. It's crazy.
Usually 6x. He usually 6x's against them. It's insane. So that's my quarterback on the week, and I'll let Kirk go ahead and tell you about his.
So I've been picking on Jags all year with the QB position. So I'm going to go back to that. Kirk Cousins, 6,400. I think the price tag might scare some people off, but the Vegas point total at 31.5 and steadily climbing is going to keep me locked on him this week. Cousins at home this year, a lot of people don't know, is a whole different Cousins. He scored 22, 21, 29, 20, 26, and 30. As you heard, nothing under 20 points. So that will give me my safe 3x plus floor. And he has scored 18 points or more in 5 of the last 6 games. Since this team started off 1-5, they've turned it around. Now that they've pretty much made Jefferson a focal point in this offense, and now they're 4-1. Jags are bottom 3 team against the quarterback this year in DraftKings, and they're getting Thielen back, and he's been a red zone weapon. Cook got banged up last game, so I think they might take it a little easier on him, and I just love the opportunity Cousins is going to have this week.
Yeah, the Kirk Cousins also score over 20 DraftKings points the week Dalvin Cook had 4 touchdowns?
I'd have to go back and check.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's a game where both could feast.
Yeah. I was just curious that I think as long as Kirk Cousins gets the work early, he should be fine. Or if this game stays close, he should be fine. But if for some reason Dalvin Cook gets all the touchdowns to start the game and they have a big lead, Kirk Cousins might not pay off, but I still like the play a lot.
Yeah, those big Cook weeks came when he was getting 30-plus touches a game. And after the last 2 scares, Minnesota has to be worried.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I'm going to go over to my running back. Let me preface this by saying it's December 4th when we're recording this. In December, that means Derrick Henry comes out of hibernation. It's a game with a high total from Vegas. There should be a lot of scoring. Both these teams love to run the ball. Derrick Henry should have over 20 carries. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt should have combined over 30 carries. This should be a good high-scoring game. Both offenses are good. Both defenses are bad. And I can see Derrick Henry having another 40-point monster game this week.
His matchups coming up are absurd. We're going to see a $10,000 Derrick Henry soon.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait for Christian McCaffrey to come back. I lock in both of them at $10,000. Perfect.
All right, I'm going to go to David Montgomery versus Detroit. Everyone knows Detroit's is awful. I mean, it's insane how bad they are. We've really never seen a defense this bad against the run. Now that there's no Cohen, he's been getting all the targets. He just came back from his injury, and he scored 28 points on the first game back on kind of limited targets. So looking for 20-plus touches in this matchup, and I don't see any running back not being able to produce in this matchup. So the Lions are just obviously the worst. Montgomery, he's going to be ultra chalk at 5,500. But I think you just have to eat it. But we have seen bad David Montgomery in great spots.
So. Yeah. watching Duke Johnson and CJ Prosise both score touchdowns on Thanksgiving was so strange to me. So I'm going to go ahead and first of all, I completely agree with Kirk's point. David Montgomery is either going to have a really good game or a really bad game this week. It's not going to be in the middle. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go to my wide receiver, which is Allen Robinson. Just a stack with Mitch Trubisky. You all know that I like to attach my wide receiver or tight end to my quarterback just to get some of those extra points. Allen Robinson should be able to eat against the secondary, who, like I said, is missing 2 more starters than they were week 1. Allen Robinson also regularly has destroyed the Lions in the games he's had against them in his career. It's a fantastic. I think it's a fantastic matchup for Allen Robinson to eat. So, Kirk, go ahead and tell me what you think about your wide receiver.
Yeah, Robinson's going to be a good pick. Also, he's going to be a little chalky, but he's going to go good with your QB, and he kind of goes against the David Montgomery chalk that we're going to see this week, the high ownership. So, it's a good pick. I'm going to go with a game that's kind of going not talked about right now and lower owned. It seems like we'll go with Cooper Kupp. Robert Woods is getting all the attention right now, and rightfully so. He's had a great year. Kupp's been limited with his touchdowns this year, and he's had boom or bust games. The targets are there, then they disappear. This game is going to be against the Cardinals defense that plays a lot of man coverage and press coverage, and Cook is one of the best against both. So far, he's kind of sucked against zone. He's only averaging 10 yards a catch versus zone, but against man and press, he's averaging right under 17 yards a catch. If we see 10-plus targets or even 10-plus catches from Kupp in this divisional matchup, we're looking at a monster game. And if you actually find the end zone where he used to always make his money at, it could be insane.
Yeah, I agree. Cooper Kupp is a fantastic pick this week, especially like you said, with averaging just under 17 yards per catch against man coverage. That's
and everyone's going on Woods, and Woods has great record. I think you need one of the two in your lineup this week.
Both receivers should do well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna hop onto my tight end. It's also another player that's connected to my quarterback. It's T.J. Hopkinson from the Detroit Lions. It's just a run back. You all know I struggle with the tight end position. I never know who to play with it. But T.J. Hopkinson, he seems like a great play this week. Very safe floor against the second worst team to defend the tight end from DraftKings scoring. It should be a good bring back for this team. I don't really trust Marvin Jones. Kenny Galladay's still hurt. I don't really trust Marvin Hall. DeAndre Swift is still hurt, and I just got the notification on my phone that if Swift is out, it'll be not out. If Swift is back, is going to be in a limited role. So, Kirk, go ahead and tell us about your.
One thing about your tight end, he's been a level of consistency. It's insane. He scored 10 points in every game except for the one that he was banged up in. Mm-hmm. And so, if he doesn't go out and score 10 plus, I think you're just a tight end curse, Nick.
Yeah, and I won't pick tight ends anymore. I'll pick a flex every week from here on out if T.J. Hawkinson busts.
So I'm going off the wall with my guy. He's been very consistent, and a lot of people don't realize that, especially if you play a lot of seasonal. You pretty much just saw one big boom game from Robert Tonyan, and then it's been nothing ever since. That really isn't the case. He keeps getting 5 targets a game, and he doesn't get talked about so that much because of the target share that Adams gets, the workload that Jones demands, and Jamal Williams getting mixed up in there too. But Tonyan, he's been scoring at least 6 points pretty much every single game. So he's going to get you almost a 2x floor, but he has that upside, and he has back-to-back touchdown games. And Nick knows as much as anybody else that Philly cannot stop the tight end.
Our defensive coordinator had a shift of some sorts over the offseason. So we used to pay linebackers in our defensive line pretty well, but now it's our defensive line and our cornerbacks. Prior to this year, we had been one of the best running defenses in the NFL. No one could run on us. And now we're one of the best passing defenses in the NFL. Not many teams can pass on us except to the tight end position. Our linebackers cannot cover tight ends. Robert Tonyan is a fantastic pick. So, yeah, I agree with Kirk with that 100%. We cannot stop a tight end to save our lives.
So I'm gonna pick my defense first, just because I can hear the frustration in Nick's voice.
Mhm.
I was thinking about going with Seattle this week because Dunlap addition is gonna be great for Seattle. We've already seen the sack total go up, but just seeing his frustration with the Eagles, I'm gonna go with the Packers at home. It's a great pick. I just kind of want to hear him rant on about how bad Wentz is and agree with me. I mean, what can you say about 15 interceptions? He only has 16 touchdowns. He's fumbled the ball 10 times. He's a joke right now. And I get he doesn't have weapons, doesn't have an offensive line, but he looks rattled, like completely rattled. It's hard for him to even get 200 yards. He's hit the 300-yard mark one time all year. And this could be the changing of the guards. This could be his last start.
That's not happening. What I'll say about the Eagles is I cannot wait for the Sixers' first preseason game in 10 days. We play the Pacers on the 14th, and we play the Celtics a few days after that, and the regular season starts on the 22nd. I'm all about basketball from here on out. I want the Eagles to lose out. I hope the Packers put up 20 draft.
You don't want the division.
No, I want a top 5 pick. I want a top 5 pick in the draft. Just lose out, please. I'm begging you, please lose out. Please go 3-12-1. 3-12-1. I'm begging you. So with that being said, I'm going to do the Chargers as my defense. They're going against the Patriots. Cam Newton has over twice as many interceptions as he does passing touchdowns. He has 9 interceptions to 4 passing touchdowns. This Patriots offense is very low scoring. The Chargers defense is pretty sneaky good. Even though they're missing a few key starters, they're still doing well. I think Joey Bosa would be able to do well to get off the edge and get a bunch of sacks on Cam, cause some disruption. Cam does get flustered easy, throw a few interceptions, maybe a pick 6 at 2,600. I feel like this is too low of a price defense to go against Cam, who has been proven to be rattled very easily this year.
And this could also be a game where Cam could get pulled too.
Yeah. For who, Jared Stidham?
Yeah.
Brian Hoyer. So, yeah, those are our picks this week. Kirk's making me end this video on being a little heated on Carson Wentz and Cam Newton. As I love both of those guys as players and as people. Gosh, but why do they got to be so bad this year, man? Kirk, do you have anything else to say before we close out for Week 13?
No, this looks like except this looks like a 3 running back week, kind of going old school. You're going to see a lot of the guys get a huge target share. Derrick Henry's wild. Cooks is in a great spot. David Montgomery's going to be chalk. You got James Robinson, who gets like 80 or 90% of the team's workload, and then Eckler coming back, who got almost 80% on his first week back.
Yeah,
so make sure to have 3 running backs. Kind of find with that one pivot, either tight end or wide receiver, and then build the line if you want.
I was telling Kirk that I don't think I've seen this many running backs 7,000 or higher ever in DraftKings. Like, that's insane how many high-priced running backs there is. So I'd say pick 2 of them and pick a cheap guy, or pick one of the big ones and pick 2 mid-tier guys. So with that being said, we'll close out Week 13. Trust the process. I can't